Number one! Fire! One, fire! Fire!
Deep in the Jordanian desert, Somme Company's mortars are raining down fire on a pretend enemy. These troops from One Lanks are here taking part in Shamal Storm, a huge military exercise designed to test how well the UK could deploy an armoured force overseas on the scale it did during the invasion of Iraq more than a decade ago.
Elevation! 0965!
And for the mortars, the huge desert provides a rare chance to fire live rounds.
One! Ammunition expended!
So this is the scenario. About 2.5 kilometres or so over that ridge, a platoon from Anzio Company have advanced and occupied a police station. They've now come under fire from a village about 500 metres or so away on their flank, and to suppress that attack, they've called in support from the mortar platoon from Somme Company.
Bearing 0530!
With a range of nearly 6 kilometres, around 3.5 miles, these 81mm mortars were widely used to support troops in Afghanistan.
Ammunition ready!
After firing 2 rounds to bed their weapons into the dusty ground, the Lanks begin laying fire onto the mock battlefield.
The 81mm mortar, it's what every infantry battalion holds. It can provide up to about 80% of the battalion's firepower. So it's quite a useful bit of kit. We can fire illume, IR illume, smoke and HE. Normally we work on a 2K principle where we're 2K behind the friendly troops, and that will give us a range of just over 4K, so we can cover them up to there. Once we're starting getting out of range, then the other mortar line will move up, set up. Once they're good to go, then we'll pack up and follow the battle.
For these Kingsmen, many of them new to the battalion, this is a chance to test their training under pressure in a battlefield scenario.
Well, we get fire effects, which is basically just they'll tell us how many rounds we've got to fire, and we'll just get them down the barrel as fast as we can. And then after that, we'll probably get a rate of fire, and then rates of fire can go up to a rate of 12, which is 1 round every 5 seconds.
And this is how things look over the ridge on the battlefield itself, albeit the next day in rather different conditions. This is the platoon attack exercise, 3 sections of 8 soldiers occupying an abandoned police station. This area of desert is nearly 2,000 metres above sea level, and through the mist, the platoon pushes out to find and assault the enemy positions.
So we've started the exercise off with a live firing phase, and that's going to continue for the next 3 or 4 days, and ultimately each of the rifle companies will build up to a company day and a company night attack. We'll then go into a dry firing phase of the exercise with blank rounds only, and we'll focus on some more specific skills, working in some more complexities of dealing with local nationals, host nation, security forces and the like.
1,600 British troops are in Jordan. Alongside the Lanks are 3-6 Engineer Regiment, here teaching soldiers how to use this piece of equipment called the Horn, a metal detector and ground-penetrating radar. It's very similar to the Vallon used by the British military in Afghanistan to detect IEDs.
Find!
So at the moment, as you can see, he's working his way up what we call threat lane, and he's got a hit on his device. That is, the device has read that there's something in the ground. So at that point, he's gone into what we call confirmation drills. The confirmation drills are that he's got himself in a position as small as possible so he can, using one hand, bring himself onto the device so he can expose some of it.
From engineers to infantry, this year's Shamal Storm is 60% bigger than it was in 2015. For the Lanks, this platoon manoeuvre is a step toward the final part of this exercise, a company-level attack involving more than 100 soldiers, vehicles and heavy weapons. And as they discover, a few surprises. Simon Newton, Forces News, Jebel Batra in Jordan. It's the British Army's largest armoured exercise for a decade. More than 1,500 soldiers.
Again, on Captain Athens' shoulder throughout, okay, as our forward medic, you can start fighting through.